well, my only parent now. Well, because when I told him, I told him I was like, yeah, I'm suicidal. He was like, oh yeah, if you kill yourself, you're going to hell. Like that is the last thing on the planet that anybody that is struggling mentally and having those thoughts wants to be told. I mean, because it's not like those. I guarantee you, it's not like those people haven't been told that already. You know, it's like we've been told that already. So it's like you saying that is not benefiting them in any way, shape, or form. You're making the situation worse. You're in a sense, I feel like you're driving them farther down that path of, you know, going that route. Ripping out my suicidal pages, tossing and turning as I spiral into blind rages. My mind tends to swerve on the highway of which is my conscience. When I was writing this song, I'm writing this song from the mental standpoint of when I was 20 years old. And when I was 20, I had just got my first job, and I wasn't prepared for real life struggles. Even before I got to that age when I was still in high school, I wasn't prepared for the struggles that would come in life. And working at a job that just really stressed me out and mentally brought me such depression, anxiety, because my anxiety was at an all-time high when I was working at this job. Not only because of the job, but just because of how my life was at that point in time. And, you know, my mind was just spiraling out of control, kind of like, when if you were to drive a car and if it was to fishtail on the highway, so that's why I put that line. My mind tends to swerve on the highway of which is my conscience, because at times my mind was just spiraling. I don't have the courage to tell my friends what's going on. They say, Zaey, you don't look so well. Oh man, that's nonsense. Keep them on the opposite side of the fence. That's been the motto. But lately, I got this urge to confess to the whole world that I'm not at my best. There were times when I just I wanted to tell people that like I wasn't doing well. I wanted to tell people that I was struggling mentally. And I didn't tell people that I was struggling mentally because I just there were times when I would tell people and they would just brush me off and be like, "Oh, what you want me to do?" Or I remember telling my one of my parents, I was like, well, my only parent now, well, because when I told him I was like, yeah, I'm suicidal. He was like, oh yeah, if you kill yourself, you're going to hell. Like that is the last thing on the planet that anybody that is struggling mentally and having those thoughts wants to be told. I mean, because it's not like those. I guarantee you, it's not like those people haven't been told that already. You know, it's like we've been told that already. So it's like you saying that is not benefiting them in any way, shape, or form. You're making the situation worse. You're in a sense, I feel like you're driving them farther down that path of, you know, going that route. Maybe I should consult with my therapist and purge my soul of these vices. Or maybe I should grab a fistful of pills and a shot of Don Julio and take a trip down the rabbit hole. Monsters in the attic laughing as the soundtrack to my downfall plays in the background. There were a lot of times where I was just like, I really want to talk to somebody. I really want to get like a therapist. But I felt like not only as a man, but as someone who is African American, I feel like that is frowned upon in my community because going out seeking a therapist, seeking help, trying to heal your own trauma, like that's deemed weak, and it made me feel like if I go out and get a therapist, people gonna look at me like I'm a nutcase, or people gonna look at me like I'm crazy, or people gonna say I'm crazy. And now looking back at it, I really wish I would have gotten a therapist, because when I was, oh my God, I was just going through so much. I was going through such a time when I was a kid. When I was 20, I was struggling. And I really, really wish I had somebody at that time to speak with and just talk it out, instead of like turning to drugs and things like that to cope with everything that was going on in my mind. This is the story of a young addict at the age of 20. Lip locking with Mary Jane is the only way I can stay sane. After I was working at this 9 to 5, living for a paycheck, hoping I'll survive. Coping with the drugs is the only way I can escape this crisis. When it came to drugs, Mary Jane was my go-to recreational drug. Um, she was my main girl. That Mary Jane being one, and then her cousin, Hempisha. She good looking too. She Hempisha. She get you where you want to go. Well, she got me where I wanted to go every time. But she ain't gonna get you where Mary Jane gonna get you. Mary Jane gonna Hempisha gonna take you around the corner. But Hempisha gonna get you on the interstate, if that makes sense. So I'm really glad though that after years and years of just trying to be better and bettering myself as a human being, I learned to let go of things like that. And here I am.
Yeah, take for it. Yeah, take for it. Transition is real. Transition is real. Yeah. Walking on eggshells, watching my fate fail. I'm more than a safe fail. Indulging in me shit, hope that it pays well. Bitches